Excellent. Now that you filled out the form, you will be taken to this screen where you can download Metasploitable. Quick note here, I'm using Google Chrome, and Google Chrome has some kind of protections, so it will try to not let me download some things that might be dangerous for me as a user. And in their filters, Metasploitable is considered one of these tools that is less secure for everyday or general use. So if I try to download, it won't let me. It will try, but it won't let me. So one workaround to this situation is I just copy the link address, and in Firefox that doesn't have this kind of protections, and I just can paste that link I copied from Chrome, and when I hit enter, the download will start. As you can see, I already did it. And once you have this file downloaded, you will find something like this. I mean, downloads VM, Metasploitable is a zip file, okay? And once you extract this zip file, you will see a folder with a couple of files. However, this is the one that is most interesting to us, okay? So given that we downloaded this virtual machine, now we need to start it, to create it. One problem is that Metasploitable virtual machine is not optimized to be used with VirtualBox. So this method we showed for Kali Linux, like just have one file and that one file only is useful to create the virtual machine, is not happening right now. So it will be a little bit more complicated. However, it will be very good to learn how to do it for other kind of uses in the future. So here the thing we need to do is or the way to install Metasploitable in our system will be creating a new machine from scratch. So the option is here, new virtual machine. The first thing, you can use whatever name you want to use. I will use Metasploitable. No creativity today. And for this specific option, we are telling that the type is Linux. Metasploitable is also based on Linux, and also in the version we can use any Debian-based distribution. However, I mean, in my case, every time I use some form of Ubuntu, 64 bits, maybe many others in this list will also do the trick. However, that works for me. Ubuntu 64 bits. And yeah, we can click next. Here we can choose the memory for this virtual machine, the RAM memory, and the number of processors. Honestly, these two values, like 2 GB of RAM and 1 processor, is more than enough. It's very, very important to note that this RAM memory will be reserved from your RAM memory in your computer, okay? So if I have 8 GB memory, every time I run this machine, 2 of those will be reserved to run that virtual machine. Indeed, for this one, I'm making this test, and in other trainings, lowering this to 1 GB is more than enough. It works very well. So in case you are worrying about consuming too much of your RAM memory while you are starting this virtual machine, you can do this. You can just lower a little bit the RAM memory reserved to that machine. You click next, and here is the different part from actually creating a machine from scratch. Because for the hard disk, we can use, for Metasploitable, you can use an existing virtual hard disk file that already has everything you might need, And yeah, that's the option that we are going to use. So use an existing virtual hard disk file, and we are going to upload this disk here. Probably you won't see a lot here, or maybe you will see only the disk for your local Linux machine. Here I have more disks because I have other virtual machines here as well, and their disks will appear here. So click add, and you would need to look for this file that we just downloaded and extracted from that zip file, VM Metasploitable, and here we are, this one. We click it, open, it will appear here, and that's it. We double click, yeah, we click next. It will show a summary of all of the configurations that we already made, and we can click finished. Yeah, and that's it. We have our Metasploitable machine, and same thing we did with Kali. We can just double click or press start. I will do double click right now, and I will start this machine. It will take a little while. Maybe I will pause briefly the video. And after some minutes, you will see the screen. This is a basic login screen similar to the one we saw in Kali. However, this only works on command line interface. Okay, and if you look carefully, you will see the actual credentials here, where it says like login with MSF admin as user and password as well. So MSF admin, enter, MSF admin, enter. And once we pass this login screen, everything will be fine with our Metasploitable. Don't worry about only seeing a command line interface, because we already did everything we could do with this machine. This machine will start running some services, websites, I believe, and other kind of servers automatically. So we don't need to do anything else with this machine. Okay. And then the idea would be to use our Kali Linux machine to run some analysis on this Metasploitable machine. So we can get familiar with the comments and with the reports that some of these tools will give us. And that's it for now.